if you found out that you have a virus? A virus that could cut decades off your life. This virus killed my brother when he was 59 years old. A virus that can make you fat, cause high blood pressure, diabetes, a heart attack, or even a stroke. What if this virus messed with your brain in the same way as Alzheimer's disease, making it harder for you to think intelligently and causing you to become angry and depressed? How would you feel if you discovered that you have a virus that makes you more likely to get divorced, struggle financially, and even lose friends? And what if this virus spread from you to your family, to your friends, to your co-workers, all through casual contact? I was diagnosed with this virus more than 10 years ago. And chances are you or someone you love has it too. I'm going to tell you a simple way to diagnose and treat the virus. It's something that anyone can do, even you. It costs nothing, and you can begin right now, wherever you are. The virus I'm talking about is complaining.
Excuse me. Thank you. How about a smoothie? What's in that?
Smoothie's a juice drink. We want coffee.
Buddy, relax.
No, you relax. I'm a regular here. This line needs to move.
I beg your pardon.
Complaining rewires your brain for negativity, making you actually look for and attract problems.
Tall, non-fat, double latte.
Sir, you're at the back of the line.
I recognize that.
Cut it out or you're out of here.
You can't kick me out.
You know what? You're really invading my ear space.
Complaining causes your adrenal cortex to pump out the stress hormone, cortisol, making you more likely to get fat, have high blood pressure, a heart attack, or even a stroke.
When David says, I pour out before him my complaint. At this point, I want to pull David aside and say, didn't you know that you were supposed to bless the Lord at all times and his praise continually be in your mouth? It's very difficult for us sometimes to tell God how we're feeling, which is funny because I have a feeling that he already knows how I'm feeling, but I'm scared to tell him. And here's why I'm scared to tell him. I know why I'm scared to tell him, because of something my dad used to say. My dad used to say, whenever I would start crying, he had this line he would say to get me to stop. And the line was, finish it if you know it, if you don't stop that crying, I'll give you.
You forgot. You don't want to deal in reality. All my friends talking about all these changes and Brexit and presidential, you have to deal with the reality of the situation. Dwelling and pondering and crying doesn't do shit, and it especially doesn't do shit in this echo chamber. In this arena, there is no crying. You can cry, you're just gonna lose. And I have bad news about complaining and crying. Let me tell you something about complaining and crying that's really, really gonna hurt for all you complainers out there. Nobody gives a shit.
But when David uses this image, I was surprised because I'm so used to the Psalms being a place where we pour out our praise. I was surprised to see David pour out his complaint, because I didn't think you were supposed to complain if God was good to you. And I read the whole Psalm, and he started the Psalm saying he was pouring out his complaint, and he ended the Psalm by saying that God was good to him. And I couldn't put the two together, because what do you have to complain about if God has been good to you?
Complaining shrinks your brain's hippocampus, mimicking the effects of Alzheimer's disease, making it harder for you to think clearly.
I'm sometimes afraid to complain in the presence of God, and so I don't pray, because I can't say what I know I'm supposed to say so I don't say anything, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm scared that if I say what I really want to say, God might give me something to cry about. I'm scared sometimes to pray to God before I come preach what I really feel like praying to God, which is, I'm not feeling this today. Because I'm scared if I say that to him, he'll put something on my voice box where I can't preach. I'm afraid if I complain to God about my children that he might look on somebody else who's been praying that they could have kids and they can't have kids, and here I am complaining about something that I prayed and asked God to give me. But I learned something about God, is that he is the only safe place where I can pour out my complaint.
I have friends who have $100 million in the bank because of Facebook's IPO, who complain, who are still hungry, who want to do even more, who will complain to me because they know I work a lot about no work-life balance and they don't get to spend enough time with their family. And I'm like, you have $100 million. You could stay home. You're in control. Don't complain about it. You've made that choice. Don't bullshit me. You want to spend more time with your family? Spend more time with your family. This is back to what we said about keyboard warriors. I'm trying to be very careful about what I'm saying versus what I'm doing, because that's how you get exposed. And I don't mean like people calling you out and being like, you suck. I mean to yourself. I don't want to be exposed by myself. It's looking yourself in the mirror and saying, like, am I doing this right? So to me, there's so many people that are talking shit about how big of an entrepreneur they're gonna be and how much they're gonna achieve, and they don't work on weekends.
I don't think complaining and whining really solves the problem. This is Jackie Robinson, first black major leaguer, had it in his contract not to complain if people spit on him. Now, I don't care if you're Jackie Robinson or if you're a guy like me who's only got a couple of months to live. You can choose to take your finite time and energy and effort, and you can spend it complaining, or you can spend it playing the game hard, which is probably going to be more helpful to you in the long run.
The average person complains 15 to 30 times a day and has no awareness they're doing it. Complaining is like bad breath. You notice it when it comes out of somebody else's mouth, but not when it comes out of your own. I was diagnosed with the complaining virus on July 23rd, 2006. Back then I was the minister of a small church in Kansas City, Missouri, and I was doing a series on prosperity. I find that regardless of how prosperous people are, they want to be more prosperous. Ask yourself, would I like to be more prosperous? I have asked that question of audiences, tens of thousands of people all over the world, and without exception, when I do, almost everyone's hand goes up. People say they want to be more prosperous. And for most people, prosperity means more. More money, more health, more friends, more love, more.
The talk isn't just about how to achieve your childhood dreams. It's much broader than that. It's about how to live your life. Because if you lead your life the right way, the karma will take care of itself. That we all have people that we don't like, that have done things we don't like, and what I have found is no one is pure evil. If you wait long enough, they will show you their good side. You can't make them do it in a hurry, but you can be patient.
He said, when life can no longer threaten you with death, he said, what else is there? What else is there? And the majority of the fears that we have are not life or death fears. They're not those kind of fears. Feeling sorry for myself and angry, none of that was taking me anywhere. So pretty soon, I learned through effort, made a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. I had to let it go. I had to forgive it. let it go, and begin to focus on developing myself. And I say to you, you're going to have people to do things to you. Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go so you can get on with your life. It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it? If you want to begin to move, you've got to clear your mind of all the unnecessary luggage and baggage that's weighing us down. I couldn't move, I couldn't think about what am I going to do to get out of this situation because I was so concerned about what happened and what he did to me and how bad it was. I was so stuck in that I couldn't even focus on what I should have done.